Diary, hello from the study. It's the end of October 2020 and what you're looking at is the Acer CB3-431 Guest Chromebook. So this device would be pretty useful, but it suffers from one terrible disability, which is that it doesn't work unless it's plugged into the mains because the battery is kerfuffed. So what have I done? Well, let's turn the little baby over. I have ordered a new battery. So for the price of £18, including postage, a new battery has just arrived this morning. So the plan is, for the first time, to open up the back of this Chromebook and replace the battery, assuming it's the right one, and see if it all works. So let's get onto it. Diary, okay, so that was easy. It's simply a question of removing these screws, which I've put in the right order, corresponding to where they have come from, because they are of slightly different lengths from these holes here. Now, a message to some engineering people, perhaps a company called Apple could pay attention. This case took me about 120 seconds to open, and it used something called a Phillips screwdriver. Nothing weird, nothing fancy, just a screwdriver, some screws, and we open the back. So there you are, Apple. It is possible to design an easy to open case. Take no engineering department. Anyway, on with the battery. So this is the replacement battery. As you can see, it looks like it's going to fit. It's got the same connector here. I would say that it is tempting to think about upgrading this Chromebook, and potentially I can see this could be the SSD here. There may be one or two upgradable components, but the thing is, why bother? Because I think at this price point, we'll come on to this later, it's probably not going to be economic. So I think I'm going to resist the temptation to even consult the parts list and go for any upgrades and just replace the battery. Diary, okay, we're down to part 3 of the assessment, and you'll be glad to hear that the battery is now replaced and we have a fully working Acer CB3-431 Chromebook. As you can see, it resumes from its sleeping operation in just seconds, and I've been using the restored laptop now for some time. And what are my thoughts? Well, it's a decent enough machine. I had a Chromebook for at least 2 years as my only laptop device before going to Mac OS briefly. I have to say that this 2020 experience of a Chromebook is far superior. Why do I say that? Well, the Chrome experience is now a fully fledged operating system with a few hiccups. But basically this laptop will do everything I need it to do. So what do I mean by that? Well, I've got the Chrome browser, obviously. I've got Gmail. I've got, very importantly, I've got the Google Play Store, from which I can install apps. I've got Google Photos. I've got the Zoom teleconferencing client. I've got YouTube. And I've got the Chrome OS, effectively, control panel. Now, this is in fact the very weedy version of the laptop. This is the 2 GB version. And we can do that by going into Chrome here and just do a flags, Chrome system, and scroll down to memory. And I found that, and unfortunately I've only got 2 GB of memory, but still, we'll just go to a video and just give it a good old play.
My name is Acer CB3 and I compete in the Porsche Chrome Cup GB series, and we are here today at the Goodwood Speed Week.
Come on, baby. So it's a bit sluggish there to go full screen, but it is a Chromebook and it's not going to be as fast as a £2,000 laptop.
I've got the best machinery underneath me, so it's great to be in a Porsche car.
Minimise. Let's go maximum again.
The drive in the 911 Pro
Yeah, it's acceptable.
was epic. Getting to some high speeds then, and it was just amazing and such an adrenaline rush.
So the main benefit of this laptop would be that the keyboard is excellent. I'm going to show you another laptop in a minute which retails second-hand for less than £200, which I've already mentioned is my Super Portage. And whilst that's a much faster laptop, it doesn't compare with this laptop in terms of its usability because of the keyboard. Keyboard is truly excellent. Obviously, Chrome OS has got dedicated Chrome keys. It's got this dedicated search key here, and then letter combination to get the specific shortcuts like lock the screen, etc. Let's sleep the system and have a look at the side. We've got a Kensington lock. We've got 2 USB 3s and a full-size HDMI on this side, and a power socket and a headphone jack on this side. So there's no SD card reader, but to be honest, on this kind of device, I wouldn't really expect there to be. So my use case for this device and what I'd recommend it for is taking a laptop effectively with a keyboard out of the house. So if I take a Chromebook out of the house, it's something where there's no personal information stored on that Chromebook. I'd reconfigure this to have a Wacom password, etc. I've just taken it off because I'm at home. And it's a totally secure browsing platform on which none of my personal data will be stored. The second use case I would give it would be to have it as a guest internet laptop. So if someone comes to stay or just visit and they need a laptop to borrow for a few hours, I can say, here's one, and we can log you in as a guest user, and in that guest user you'll have all of these apps. You can do what you want. You can run a Zoom call, you can go to the Play Store, you can install your own apps, etc. You can run your Gmail. That could be done quite easily, and that's my second use case. So as a data-free laptop outside of the home, tick. As a guest laptop coming to the house, tick. But the caveat is that I wouldn't pay more than about £200 for this device second-hand. It's at least two or 3-year-old design now. I'll just, at the last moment, then compare this with the Toshiba, which I've made another video of, which is the Toshiba postage. That's got all sorts of bells and whistles. This is actually running Ubuntu and Windows 10, and it's got a fingerprint reader, but the keyboard is pretty naff, and that's because it's a 5-year-old laptop. But this laptop can be purchased from, if you know where, for less than £200, and it's actually got an i5 Generation 4 CPU in it, so substantially more powerful. And this has got 8 gigabytes, but it could have up to 16. Whereas this has got 2 gigabytes and just struggles along. Okay, Dari, I hope you find this useful. Again, I would recommend it, and of course the battery replacement is a piece of cake. Thanks for watching.